So let's take what's the next step in this journey. We need to consider, how do I secure all of this infrastructure and all of these applications, and how do I connect it together? To help me do that, please welcome Marcos Hernandez. Hi Marcos, how are you doing? I think you've got some fans out here. So Marcos, once again we're going to focus on some component of what Tanzu Tees needs to deal with. And here we're focusing on this connect and protect, which is really around security to a very large degree. So the specific problem I would like to solve at this stage is, I've got this emerging complex application infrastructure. It's difficult to maintain and understand, particularly when I'm hitting performance problems. I want to know, how can I track down quickly, and how do I leverage some of the VMware technologies to make sure I can optimize all of that infrastructure? And I'm sure you've got something to help me with that.
I sure do, Ray.
Thank you.
For the first demo that we're going to be showing, I'm going to play the role of a service reliability engineer. My job is to keep the application performing optimally. So let's see it. From the Tanzu Mission Control, we can jump into the NSX Service Mesh console. Here, I see my Tanzu T application spread across 2 clusters in 2 different clouds, in 2 different data centers. There's a Navi Networks load balancer redirecting traffic to each cluster based on attributes like user proximity, latency, performance, etc. One of the canonical use cases of the NSX Service Mesh is performance assurance. To show you this, we've created a very simple service level objective policy that defines acceptable levels of latency and error rate for my application. We're going to trigger a violation. We're going to bring down some infrastructure here to trigger a violation. My West data center has disappeared. 50% of my infrastructure is gone. And now, automatically, the Navi Networks load balancers is rerouting 100% of the traffic to a surviving cluster. This is causing pressure, and we can see that there are some services that are in alert state. Let's go ahead and dig into, let's go to a performance tab. And we can see here the offending services, and also that latency and error rate have gone up, whereas my number of instances supporting my microservices is going down. But if we wait just a few moments, we'll see here how the self-healing and auto-scaling capabilities of the service mesh in coordination with technologies like our hybrid cloud runtime and the intelligent routing of the Navi Networks load balancer will bring my application back to acceptable levels of performance, as defined by my SLO policy.
Okay, so I'm leveraging service mesh to help me basically help and automate and even remediate in some cases when I experience some form of a performance issue.
Yep.
So what I also want to understand, though, is my environment is extremely dynamic. We're a growing company. We're bringing in new products, new data centers, new infrastructure all the time. And frankly, I'm kind of sick and tired of having to spend so much time dealing with all of the security reconfiguration when I do that. Why is the infrastructure not able to do some of that for me automatically?
We can do some of that.
Okay.
For my second demo, I'm going to switch hats, and now I'm going to be a security and networking architect. And we're introducing, let's see the demo, we're introducing a new capability in NSX called NSX Intelligence. And I'm very, very excited. I love all our demos, but I'm very excited about this one. From NSX Manager, we can go to the Plan and Troubleshoot tab. And here, NSX Intelligence is reporting on the universe of applications that are known by this system, as well as all the flows, protected and unprotected, currently on the wire. We can focus our attention on our Tanzu Tees application and get a view of the different groups that comprise this app. If we drill down even further, we can see that this particular tier of the app is made up of containers, bare metal workloads, and VMs. We are ingesting telemetry from a number of data sources, vRealize Network Insight, App Defense, and in the future, VeloCloud and Navi Networks. And we're also learning rich Layer 7 context information about my app. We take all of this, and we apply data science to then create a security recommendation, which I'm going to show next. We're going to run a security recommendation for Tanzu Tees. And the first thing that I'm going to do is just narrow down the flows and the information applicable for this particular app. The first thing that the system will show me is a list of firewall rules that will protect this application. I'm going to proceed, and here I'm prompted for placement in the overall firewall table. In the next screen, and this is the coolest part of this demo, is the before and after. I can turn on simulation mode, and then before applying my policy, see what the effect of that security posture will be. If I'm satisfied with that, I can publish to the firewall table, and then see that the security policy has been realized. You're going to see that in the next screen. But to close the loop and make sure that everything is working as intended, I can go back to plan and troubleshoot and see that only protected flows are allowed on the wire. And this means that with just a few clicks, I microsegmented an application using the power of machine learning. Boom.
Okay. I think you really like this, right? Okay. Okay, so I'm convinced I'll buy one of these at Tanzu Teas, right? However, as once again, you know, I'm going to come up with some more problems for you. So one of the things that I'm particularly interested in is the application security itself. I'm interested in the risk mitigation. And a lot of the products we're talking about are beginning to embed machine learning into them. And I'd like to understand what sort of technology I can bring to bear to say, can I proactively begin to understand how do I manage some of this risk mitigation, but back up at the apps this time.
Okay. So for my third and last demo, I'll switch hats again, and now I'll be a vSphere admin. Let's go ahead and roll the demo. What we're looking at here is app defense. We want to showcase intrinsic security capabilities that we've put into ESXi. So you're looking at the app defense vCenter plugin that is available with vSphere. And what we're doing here is learning all the events and network behavior across the entire infrastructure. And then we use carbon black technology to assign a risk score to each one of these events. Then if I go to the SEC vulnerabilities tab, I can see that there are 6,000 events that have been identified by app defense. The problem is that our admins have is, what do I do first? What do I fix first? So the system does that for us. Again, leveraging machine learning technology. And we have narrowed it down to one critical event associated with this particular Windows operating system. If we drill down even further, we can see that it's affecting my app tier. And in the next screen, we will get more information about the offending process, which just happens to be Tomcat. This allows me, Ray, to have a conversation with my application team and go tell them, do this first, focus on this issue first. Then they can go to the App Defense Manager and take remediation action. We'll see here that the process that is causing the exception, raising the alarm, is a rogue PowerShell script that shouldn't really be happening in this environment. So with that, we can close the loop and secure the application and patch the application using App Defense and Carbon Black.
I was expecting boom there as well, right?
Boom.
Okay. So this idea of leveraging technologies such as Carbon Black to be able to leverage some machine learning AI to look across the application space, powerful features beginning to emerge. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you.
Thank you.